Another day, another dollar, another album reaction stream we're gonna do this morning. It feels apt. Like my day's been running all over the place, and I kind of feel like starting it, listening to some music. Like I need to unwind. So today, as we had said yesterday, we're going down the list of the albums that I have in a playlist right now. I use Apple Music because fuck Spotify. Not that Apple's much better, but fuck Spotify. I don't use that shit. And I've liked Apple Music for the most part, other than, all the business practices that all these streaming services have. But that's, where we're listening to the majority of these things that we're doing reactions to. Today we're going to be checking out the collab album between the Melvins and Napalm Death that just dropped, called Savage Imperial Death March, which from what I've read and what I've seen about this album is it's not a split, where it kind of seems like just from the top, like you look at that album cover. Let's see, does Apple Music actually let me look at these album covers? No, they don't. What a piece of shit. Okay, here we go. From the look of this, and I want to fix this on my screen here. Hold on a second. Morning, Cariosa. It kind of looks like it's a split album, right? But from what I understand, they went on a couple tours, and then because they enjoyed just hanging out and playing music together, they decided to make this album in which they literally just jammed it out, where every single song, it would kind of be like, hey, I did this, I came up with this idea, then another person would take it and run with it, and they would literally switch out instruments. So there's not like Buzz doesn't play all the guitars on this album. The bass player from Napalm Death doesn't play bass on everything. Sometimes Buzz plays bass, and singing kind of fluctuates, and drumming also gets changed hands during the song. So it's one of those, like, a bunch of buddies got together and just had fun making music albums, which I'm kind of like, I love that idea, because I think in life we need to have fun. And we need to sit and, especially when you're artist, collaborate. Sit and just take your art where the muse takes you, right? Regardless of whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. It exists. You did this thing, and at least for you guys, things are cool with it. You've done something that is fulfilling to you on an artistic level. Whether or not most of these kind of collab albums actually work, yeah, make stuff. I agree, Cariosa. Just make stuff. And that's what I'm really hype on this, because I love that idea. I think that's such a cool idea. And the Melvins and Napalm Death have always been two bands that, one, I've liked, but also that I've respected from the standpoint of they just make whatever the fuck they want to make. And I like that. I think more artists need to be doing that. There's too many, especially artists that are tied to like having to stay popular. They just regurgitate the same shit over and over and over again, right? I have a feeling this isn't going to sound like either of these two bands. I'm a Melvin, you're a Melvin. You're a Melvin, Omar. Welcome in, Omar. So, if you guys aren't familiar with either of these two bands, the Melvins, if I'm talking down to you like you know what the fuck any of this is, I apologize. That's what I do. I just be making shit. I don't know how anyone half the time. I don't show anyone half the time. That's what makes us human. That's what you should be doing. And you're doing it. You're doing it right. The Melvins are kind of considered like some of the godfathers of grunge, like sludge rock, stuff like that. So slower, grimy, heavy riffs with Buzz Osborne kind of sing yelling. It's not for everybody. I've dug the Melvins. Not everything they do is great, but that's kind of the charm of the Melvins, is that they just do whatever the fuck they want to do, and they constantly are putting out music. I love that. Some of it I absolutely adore. Some of it's kind of like, There's a couple really cool Kiss covers that they do. And Napalm Death are literally one of the godfathers of fucking grindcore. That after a few albums like Scum and what was the other one they did? I forget. They turned into more of like a tech death band. And they've, through multiple lineup changes, there's a couple guys that are still in it that have been there for a long time. They just kind of do their own thing in the guise of death metal and tech death and grindcore. So these two, to see what is going to come about with this is going to be interesting, because I have a feeling it's going to lean more towards the Melvins than it's going to be Napalm Death. That's just what I am thinking. If any of you in the chat are familiar with either of these two acts, let me know what you feel this is going to sound like, because honestly, I'm keeping my mind completely open. I have a feeling it's going to be some weird, sludgy, slow, screamy, weird. There's like, it supposedly, it says when I'm looking at, let's get goopy. I have a feeling that's what it's going to be. It tells me here on Wikipedia that this thing is 38 minutes and 33 seconds. On Apple Music, when I look at it, it tells me, oh, yesterday it told me it was like 45 minutes. It's 8 songs, 38 minutes long. So get ready, buckle up. Hopefully this is not a bumpy ride. Hopefully this is a fun one. We're going to listen to the first track. I don't know what to expect. That's kind of fun. I know it's going to be Napalm. It's not going to be Napalm Death. Yeah, that's the thing I'm going in with, the sentiment I'm going in with Omar as well, is that this is not going to be Napalm Death. I'm guessing this is going to be lean way more into the Melvins than Napalm Death. Just a guess. But who knows? We could be very surprised by whatever this is. The first track we're going to listen to is Tossing Coins into the Fountain of Fuck, which, what a great fucking title. Let's fucking go. All right. You don't want to hear synth, Omar? I don't think you need to worry about that. This now sounds like the Melvins with the Napalm Death singer over top of it. I fucking love it. Let's start this again. I want to hear that. I want to give this another shot here. This absolutely sounds like the singer of Napalm Death over top the Melvins right now. Oh, this is great. Can we just have fucking Barney singing for the Melvins from here on out? I fucking love the combination of Barney Greenway singing over top of a patented, like, tried and true fucking Melvins cut. Because that's what this is. I love it's that really angular kind of riff that the Melvins love doing. Solid, big, fat fucking drums. Like, listen to those fucking drums, man. So big and fat. And then that classic Napalm Death scream. Like, that is so, he has such like a grimy shouting, like, he doesn't get, it's kind of low, but it's not kind of low. It's not like Chris Barnes Cookie Monster vocals. Just before I got here and started the stream today, I had an appointment with my little guy, and the cord in my car to my phone has been shit lately, and it hasn't been working too great, so we had to listen to a CD, and I was so sick of listening to, because the only CD that was in the car was fucking Green Day's Warning. God, what a miserable album that is. It's like an album that I hadn't really given a chance to. And so it's been the only thing in the car lately. And I looked around, and I had a stack of other CDs in the door, like the little carrier part where sometimes you can put extra shit in your doors. And I opened up, he wanted to listen to, I have a Metallica album in there, which I never listened to Metallica, but I have this, what is it? Hardwired to Self-Destruct. I have that album. And we opened it up, he wanted to hear it, and Napalm Death's Utopia Banished was in it. And I'm like, oh, well, this seems apt. And I'm like, what do you want to listen to, bud? Do you want to listen to Metallica or Napalm Death? And my little guy goes, Napalm Death. So we put, where's the Hank Williams Jr. CD, son? Not in there. So we put in that Napalm Death Utopia Banished CD, and man, fucking Barney's scream. Like, it is almost the signature of fucking Napalm Death. Just beyond, super grindy, hard, fast, noisy ass music. That scream is so iconic. And fuck, I love it over top of this cut. This sounds so fucking good. That is, I love the changes. Like, it feels like the beat's not changing, but those riffs and the timing of the riffs just kind of shift. And it reminds me, like, the Melvins at times remind me of, like, the Jesus Lizard. Have you guys ever listened to that band, Jesus Lizard? There's a lot of times I mix the two up because they at times have a similar, I can't even speak, similar kind of approach to how they time the rhythms of the riffs out, where they kind of play with a very straightforward 4 on the floor beat, or maybe even like a 3/4 beat, and then just have the riff play longer than it should and kind of do it counter to the beat. I love how that works out. It wasn't Scum, it was not Scum. The album we listened to was Utopia Banished. I didn't have Scum. I do have Scum on CD. But I didn't have it in the car this morning. I was surprised I had Utopia Banished in there, to be honest. But yeah, I'm fucking loving the groove of this. This is a solid ass fucking song. This is getting a fucking star. I'm listening to this again. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Whoa, that was a change. This entire section was so grimy as fuck. Like, compared to the album we listened to yesterday that had like this, it tried to do this grandiose sound, but it sounded like really small and tinny. This, because there's bass in it, is so fucking full, and it just so fucking heavy. Jesus, I love the mix of this so far. This is great. But that change, holy shit, we're almost going into fucking punk rock here. Let's check this out. It's like we went into a Sex Pistols song. Let's start this again. Right back into it, man. Hell yeah. Well, that's weird. I'm liking, it seems right now, the bass of the song, and I don't want to do this the entire album, but this first track, we're just getting acclimated to the sound of this collaboration. X-Pac! Welcome in, X-Pac. But it seems like the bass of the track is a pretty straightforward Melvins tune. And then, like, the guitar solos feel very much like John Cook from fucking Napalm Death, playing these really unhinged guitar solos, even though that could be Buzz. Who knows? Buzz does some pretty fucking crazy shit. Like, you ever listen to his shit with Fantomas? That shit is fucking wild. So I don't know. This is a really cool, I did not picture Napalm Death and Melvins sounding like this. I should have. But I'm way pleasantly surprised by this. This is fucking rad as shit. This is awesome. Fuck, what a way to start an album. What a fucking way to start an album. That is a great... Tossing coins into the fountain of fuck. That... Holy shit. We're only one song in. That was an absolute fucking banger. What a fucking great song. Holy shit. I love this. As of right now, the personnel that they have going on, and I'm looking at the Wikipedia just so I have reference, the members of the Melvins that are involved in this is Buzz, obviously. He's credited for the vocals and guitar, but mind you, as I said before, they are switching off duties. So it's not like exclusive to those two instruments. And Dale Crover from the Melvins is playing drums. But as I had heard from an interview with Barney and Buzz, supposedly there are tracks where Buzz went on bass and Barney had jumped on an instrument and Shane had jumped on guitar. Like it flips out all over the place in this. So I don't know how much you really want to like put into stone who's playing any of this stuff on this album, but it's kind of cool to guess. Napalm Death members that are part of this, Barney Greenway on vocals, as we had already established. That entire song was, the majority of it was Barney. And then Shane Umbry. These are two of like the old school Napalm Death members. is on bass, and John Cook plays guitar. So that's our band, essentially. This was a total studio project for sure. The next song is the longest song on the album, clocking in at 9 minutes and 21 seconds. This next track we're going to be hearing is Some Kind of Antichrist. So let's put it on. Whoa! Holy shit, I did. Again, classic Melvins. We're gonna take sludgy riffs from the fucking 70s and fucking make them new. God, that sounds to me like some old school, like, skeezy 70s, rock riff. I fucking love that shit. Oh, God, this album is a fucking banger so far. Let's start that over again. It sounds like a fucking Kiss tune. Now we got Buzz on vocals with fucking Barney in the background right now. What a fucking rockin' tune. I know that Buzz is a huge Kiss fan, and these riffs sound like riffs from like the first couple Kiss records. That's what this sounds like to me. Like he's just fucking sliming up an old Kiss tune. I fucking love this. Let's do that verse again. Kicked in the balls! Oh, we can actually understand the words, X-Pac says. Yeah, today somewhat. When Buzz is singing, you're probably going to understand the words. When Barney's singing, no. We're not completely out of the harsh vocal realm with this album. This is, again, I don't even, we're only a minute in and this is a banger. I gotta hear him say, kick to the balls. What a groove, man. What a groove. Is that a keyboard? What is going on there? Hold on. I want to say the combination of Buzz and Barney on vocals is perfect. I'm sold. If they ever tour on any of this stuff, I'm there. So far, I'm so blown away by this. I think this is a fucking phenomenal album so far. Let's hear this part here. Is that a keyboard I'm hearing? What is that? No, it sounds like a guitar. That's a keyboard. That's not a bad assumption, Cariosa. It could be a guitar. It very much could be. Man, there's so much to listen to in this. That's one of the things I've always loved about the Melvins music is that while it's extremely sludgy and dense, it's mixed in a way that it breathes and it provides space for other sounds to come in and out of it. They always make such recorded and produced stuff for the most part, especially since they've been on Ipecac. It's like a lot of their records just sound really fucking good. Did they bring in Claudio Simonetti to play fucking keyboards? It sounds like it to me so far. It sounds like a mixture of a classic 70s grimy Kiss tune with some elements of sludge and then this Italian synth that's going on in the background. God damn. Okay, it was something different was bound to happen in a 9-minute long song. Oh, we got some reversed vocals going on. Completely overdriven ambient drum smashing in the background. Okay, let's hear what I want to hear this. I could hear it. It's like peeking in that mix where they're just. It sounds like just noise, but it's just let's toss some room mics with somebody just beating the shit out of drums, and then just put like an overdrive like gain pedal on there that just completely pushes it over into just digital noise. Folks, I'm not going to recommend on Twitch for you to maybe consume something that alters the state, but this would be a good time. I'm already way ahead of you. You know, don't threaten me with a good time. Consume whatever you want to consume, Xbox. That's up to you. That's completely up to you. I just have a feeling if you've consumed things and you're getting through this section right here, when that riff kicks back in, you're going to be riding high, brother. Because I have a feeling at some point that riff is going to kick back in. Even with the just dissonance and off time kind of just randomness of these completely reverb overdriven drums, like these ambient drums that are going on in the background, that sequencer that's playing right now, there's still a groove going on here in a weird way. Like, I did not expect a collab of the Melvins and the Napalm Death to really like be more groove based. I'm really surprised by this so far. I gotta be honest, this is more along the lines of the kind of thing I was expecting, where it's just kind of this meandery, let's just get together and bang on some shit and make some noise kind of music. This is what I was expecting. That first song and the first part of this song was not what I was expecting. Sometimes a lot of these collabs, they kind of go along this route, where it's just kind of this overindulgent, let's just sit and zone out and just bang on shit. Which is fine. It is what it is. I gotta say though, if nothing else kicks in for the rest of the song, I'm a little disappointed. Yep, I don't think... We got less than a minute left. I have a feeling this is the rest of the song. I mean, still a cool song, but after how groovy that was for like 3 minutes, once we're done, once it rolls out, let's see where was the point where it just kind of devolved into a lot of noise, like ambient. We're just gonna sit and bang and just create noise for about 6 minutes. Okay, it sounds like it's gonna kick right into the next track. I don't want to. We're gonna let it roll there. But I think, where did it come off? I have a feeling it was like somewhere around here. Yeah, it was around 3 minutes. So 6 whole minutes of just kind of meandering noise, none of it was obnoxious in any way. It all was interesting to listen to, but like, wow, what a solid... This is one of those tracks where I would put it on for the first 3 minutes and then skip the rest of it. Listening to it one time, cool. If it's on in the background, like if the rest of this album's awesome and I go pick it up on vinyl, having it on in the background, not a big deal. But if I'm sitting and jamming out on stuff, I'm more than likely going to hear that first 3.5 minutes and then skip to the next track. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a simple man and I like simple grooves. And the first song and the first part of this song is like, okay, I'm expecting some really cool fucking this. I'm digging this. And then 5-6 minutes of just noise. Yeah. It is what it is. This is what, honestly, is kind of what I expected. So I'm on the fence. Like, that first 3 minutes is so fucking good. So far. I'll keep the star on there. We'll keep it on there. So the next track is Awful Handwriting. They're just fucking around at this point. Listen to that. Listen to what's going on. It sounds like Buzz is just going, and then Barney in the background's just screaming. This is like an Animal Crossing KK Slider song. You know what almost sounds like? What Buzz is doing, or whoever is singing in it almost sounds like the guys saying, fight! In fucking Street Fighter. Like, listen to this shit. It almost sounds like they've resampled that and just like mixed it up and turned it around and did shit with it. I don't even know what to say to this. Hold on, what are they saying? They're saying something here at the end. Hold on. All right, before we get into 9 Days of Rain, which is the next song. All right, so we got a song and a half of just fucking around. That's not a good sign. As I said before, this is what I was kind of expecting this to be. There's a lot of times, and this is what I've come to experience in being a fairly casual Melvins fan. Like, I can't say that there's any Melvins records that I've ever gone into where I've been like, oh, this is fucking awesome. They're all kind of just weirdo, sludgy, especially mid to late era Melvins are just kind of like, these dudes just want to make whatever the fuck they want to make, which is cool. But, like, I'm hoping they start getting back to where we were at with that first track. I'll tell you that. What are you guys thinking so far with this one? How are you digging this? Because I'm hoping with 9 Days of Rain we get back on track a little bit. The rest of the album until the final song range between like 3 to 5 minutes per song. So no more epics for the most part. Here we go. Ooh, I like that. It sounds like in the background, like there's howling going on. Let's go back to the beginning of that riff. It almost sounds like there's scream howling that's tossed through a ton of reverb, so it changes the sound of that howl a little bit. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like vocalizing as opposed to singing. Is more of just like using the voice as an instrument, as a background, like patina in the, you could hear it. It always, the way that I'm hearing it in the spatial, with the spatial quality of what's going on and the spatial real estate of the sound, is like, it almost feels like the music is like the rain, the 9 Days of Rain is like voices of crying, like tinging everything that's going on below them. That's a fucking cool sound, man. always love, this is just something about me. I love background vocals of dudes just not giving a fuck and just being off key and just kind of going, It's so snotty. I fucking love that shit. And you can hear Buzz Osborne in the background. I kind of fucking love it. I like the groove of this. This is real nice and fucking sludgy. I like it. Oh, that's huge. I really like the use of the keyboard in this. It feels very classic Italian horror movie. Like a lot of the keyboard that they're just kind of putting in beds and in waves. I fucking love it. Cool song. Not a song that I mean, in the context of the album, I would probably sit and listen to that. As I said before, another one of those songs where if this is playing in the background, I'm definitely not opposed to it being on. I like kind of the dissonance of the guitar riff. I really dig the bed that they laid with the keyboards and the vocal moans, and I think Buzz's singing in the background's kind of cool. Decent. I mean, the drums sound so huge on this album. I love that sound. Like the drums and the bass sound so fucking good. I absolutely love it. So I don't know. That song was okay. Let's see. The next one is Rip the God. That bass sounds so good. Ooh, that's nice. It's clean. You hear that? Like they turned off the fucking distortion after the beginning there. Like that's fucking nice. Let's hear that again. I want to go back to maybe just start it over. Boy, is Apple Music being real fucking stupid right now. Come on, dude. What is Apple Music doing? Sometimes, man, this is a complete piece of garbage. Like, it does not want to go back. There we go. Hey, Apple, get your shit together. Asshole boosted. Oh, I fucking like that. That fucking bass. That bass sounds like it's tuned so low that it's barely holding on to the guitar. Like, like those strings are so loose that it's like they're just hanging on for dear life with every pick of the fucking... Every time they pick a string, it's like, whoa. Listen to how fucking dirty that bass is. It's like tuned, that bass is like tuned so low you can't even tell between the fucking notes. It's just like, God, it's fucking wonderful. Okay.
The results will be the same, like a hero. A tiny world of incredible noise, I couldn't stand it.
Fuck, that's nice. The combination of their vocals is really fucking good. I really like these two guys singing together. Fucking A. This, again, another fucking banger. Rip the God. Jesus Christ. Once Barney comes in, I'm like, oh, give me this. This is what I want. Oh, that's nice. There's so much. If you wanted to break down what the fuck was going on in that song, there's a lot you can sit and talk about. But honestly, that is the perfect kind of track for this collaboration, because it's just like very simple. All of these like arrangements for the most part are fairly simple. It's just groove based rock. You know what I mean? Where you just lay down this simple groove and let it go, and then just build like layers of additional noise on top of it. And that's kind of like the dynamics of the song is, here's the groove, and here's where we're just going to come up. We're going to bring it down. We're going to bring it up, bring it down. And with these two singers, honestly, fucking A, that combination of the Melvins, like, music with Napalm Death's vocals, it's so good. I could listen to... I feel like I'm not having a lot to say, really, because I'm just really into this. I think this is really good. And so this song in particular, we're 5 songs in right now, and there's some kind of Antichrist as of... I mean, it's more an asterisk song for me, where it's like, it's okay. I'm going to keep the star on there mostly because I want to hear that beginning, because it was so fucking good. And it was so Kiss-coded that I want to hear that again. But the first song and Rip the God, really good fucking tracks. Now that's like, I want a full album of just songs like that. It's so good. I expected a lot of... No, Kiss-coded is not derogatory here, Omar. If you've come here looking to... like shit talk Kiss, you're talking to the wrong guy. I fucking love Kiss. And so does Buzz Osborne. They've done multiple Kiss covers. They love that early era Kiss music. So if you come into a stream or like into a Melvins album expecting to not hear some of that inside of it, then I don't know what to tell you. It's there. It's 100% there. Good song. Really good song. Such a perfect combination. Those vocals go so well together, man. Really cool shit. The next song is Stealing Horses. I did not expect to hear that riff. Sounds like a fucking Mastodon riff. Now I want to hear Mastodon with fucking Barney's vocals over him. Maybe I just really love Barney's fucking vocals. This has a very Mastodon feel to it. Do I love Barney's vocals as much as I love Chris Barnes' vocals? I don't like Chris Barnes' vocals now. I'll tell you who's aged better. Fucking Barney has. Totally two different vocal deliveries. For real. For real. I like Chris Barnes' vocals back at Cannibal Corpse, those first 4 records, for what they are. But if I was to put up against each other, Barney Greenway's fucking vocals, you can't really argue with them being better. I mean, that's up to you guys. You guys want to put that up for a vote? Used to listen to Blood Mountain so much. Blood Mountain's a good one. I'm a big fan of Crack the Sky. I like that. Crack the Sky Remission and Leviathan are such good records, dude. Like, I like Blood Mountain decent. There's some really cool tracks on there, but Crack the Sky to me is where it's at. I fucking love that. And this so far sounds like one of those kind of obnoxious Mastodon songs. I'm kind of into it. I love how jammy this is, man. It doesn't seem to have to follow a certain rhythmic pattern. Like, there's such a looseness to everything that Buzz Osborne does and these guys in the Melvins do that it just kind of feels so organic and it just rolls into each other, where, you know, other bands that would have this kind of really tight, you know, rhythm section, these things would be so fucking, like, you could time them out to when they're going to come and go. And in this, you just get lost in that groove, right? I like that kind of thing, man. I just don't know where any of this is going, even though all of the songs basically follow the same kind of, well, we're just going to kind of jam on out kind of thing, right? I like that riff. That sound, the dissonance in those chords, very Crowbar. Like, I really dig that. That's really fucking cool. Let's hear that again. Mind you, the drums are going way too fast for a Crowbar song. But those chords, man, that's wonderful. These songs are so dense. There's so much going on. Like there's guitar solos happening in the left ear that are just kind of slightly buried in the mix, and also just overdriven that they just kind of fade into the rest of the noise that's going on. And then there's like them doing choir voices in the background, like a bed track of Oz. And there's just so much going on in this. It feels like the kind of album I'm going to have to listen to a few times to just get everything that's going on. Because, man, these songs are so dense. Holy shit, that was another banger. I think Stealing Horses and Tossing Coins into the Fountain of Fuck are the best songs on the album so far. Those are really good. We have 2 tracks left. Comparison is the Thief of Joy is the next one. Very cinematic. I'm in Raya Luceria. It kind of feels that way, doesn't it? Those vocals, very much, man. There's a lot of reverse cycles going on as well that are alternating between, left and right panning right now. There's so much going on in this, man. I want to go back a little bit. Okay. It really does feel like there's a lot going on here. Is a fucking Burger King about to get me? Is this Sneak King? Funny story, we went to Burger King yesterday because we ended up having this play date with one of my little guy's friends from daycare. And the friend had talked his dad into going to Burger King, so it's all my little guy would talk about. So we went there. Mind you, he does not eat burgers. He doesn't like burgers at all. Like, literally at all. So we get the same thing we get everywhere, which is, the kids' Happy Meal with the damn chicken strips. And we get the Crown, and right now they're running a promotion for Mandalorian and Grogu. So he's wearing, hey, what's up, Chell, not Micro? Welcome in. Welcome in. So he's been wearing since last night the crown, the Burger King crown, and it has the Mandalorian face on it. So he's been wearing this around for like 2 days now. The Burger King. But can you imagine if the Melvins and Napalm Death decided to do a soundtrack for one of the Dark Souls games? Maybe we should send this to Miyazaki and go, yo, dude, hey, check this song out. Comparison is a thief of joy. Put these guys in the next Dark Souls game. Let's go back just a hair. Is that for real? He always asks for damn Burger King crowns I have thrown away. So many fucking crowns for a household with no children? I like your husband. Fuck growing up. There's probably like 3 in the house right now. Good for him. I like him. That is the absolute energy you need coming into this fucking Melvins Napalm Death record. Is fuck growing up. We're gonna have fun and we're just gonna make some obnoxious noise. That is the sentiment here. There is so much. I know I've said this a number of times while we've been listening to this. There is so much like Euro horror sensibility going on in the background beds of these tracks. The opera, the synth, a lot of this sounds like 80s Italian horror movie music going on in the background. I might ask him to pick up Burger King tonight. I deserve a Whopper. Well, if you get the kids meal or you get the crowns, you either get Mandalorian or Grogu with little ears that come out. So just a warning, you might get a couple of them. Why do you hate Grogu? This feels very cinematic. This definitely, this album seems to be sort of schizophrenic in the way that, or at least bipolar in the way, not to, I'm sorry to, if that triggers you guys, me using these terms in this way. In the way that it's either a noise track or it's a groove-based rock track. There doesn't seem to be any in between on these songs. There are some of the songs that have a lot of noise in them, so it makes sense to like kind of morph into a more straight up noise track. But I mean, the album absolutely is divided up, and that's why I think we've gone through this so fast, is that a lot of it is just kind of meandering noise, to be honest. You never watched the show? Might be good. I'll never find out. Hey, I resemble that remark. Yeah, I don't mean to use those terms in a derogatory fashion. It's just the album definitely has 2 faces when it comes to these songs. And this is Some Kind of Antichrist, and Awful Handwriting are more like noisy experimental tracks, where tracks like Tossing Coins into the Fountain of Fuck, 9 Days of Rain, Rip the God, and Stealing Horses were just straight up rock tracks. So we definitely get where they're going with all this. It's all over the place, but I'm having a good time. Yeah, I've enjoyed this. This has been a really easy listen, and I feel like we've really flown through this because for the most part, I've just wanted to jam to it. This is a cool record. I'll have it on. Is it like one of my favorites by the 2 of them? No, but the songs I've really liked. So I'm excited to hear if they ever do something again, because I think they should. This is a success to me. I mean, at the very least, I've gotten to hear Barney Greenway sing Melvins tunes, and that shit is rad as fuck. That's cool. If I could say anything, I really like the flow of the album. Like, even if it is just divided up between a bunch of experimental noise tracks and then rock tracks, it flows really well. The majority of this record just flows really well. All right, here's the last song, Death Hour. Fuck yeah. I love how fucking angular these riffs are. Like, you expect it feels like they're simple, but then they mix up the time signature and they play with your expectations. When you expect the next part to come in isn't when that next part's gonna come in. I fucking love it. This is so good. Oh, Mark, I don't think I hear the Joe Hendry song playing. It must not be triggering. Oops. I totally didn't hear it. Welcome in, Mark. I'm hoping this isn't like some kind of Antichrist where now we get to hear a minute and a half of really cool shit, and now the rest of the song is just going to be noise for the rest of the song. I'm holding out hope. That riff was too damn good. They really like having the vocals spin around the spatial. Like, it's just going back. Oh, that's cool. Like, I would recommend, if you guys haven't been listening to this today with headphones, I would highly recommend listening to this album with headphones. They're doing a lot of real fun shit. A lot of really fun shit. Even if it isn't necessarily, like, super musical, it just, there's very interesting audio things that are happening right now. They are just dicking around. Yeah. I completely agree with Omar on this. I would say 50% of this album is just dicking around. Which, as we said before, isn't like the worst thing ever, but it's not something I'm going to like go back to. And that's what's disappointing, is that like at this point we have 2 minutes and 50 seconds left of this album and of this song. And this song had 1.5 minutes of fucking tight groove riffing. And now the rest of the track is just them dicking around, and that kind of sucks. That's disappointing. That's where, like, I'm almost inclined to, again, get rid of the star on some kind of Antichrist. But that groove was so fucking good at the beginning. Ah! Half of this record is literally just them dicking around. Like, I was listening to, and I don't do a lot of watching reactionary content because the vast majority of it just seems like, I don't know how limited the majority of these people that do this stuff, how limited their knowledge is or experience is with, like, any sort of music that's been out there for the last 40 years. But whenever they're confronted with something that's slightly off the norm, they don't know how to digest it. And there's this one dude I've been watching, what's his name, Walter Ruski or something like that. He's been doing a deep dive on Mike Patton. And he listened to the first Mr. Bungle album. Actually, the first thing he heard was California. And then listened to the first Mr. Bungle album, which admittedly California is like Mr. Bungle for normies. And even though it's weird, it is the most accessible Mr. Bungle album. He finally got to Disco Volante, which is arguably the most complex thing that Mr. Bungle ever did. And it's very noise, jazz, dissonant, extreme metal based. And it's a lot to sit and digest, to be honest. And I feel like that kind of music you need to give time and you need to sit and give repeat listens to, because it's worth it. I don't know if I would say the same thing here. Like, in those reactions where you just kind of shut your brain off to experiencing new things, even if you can recognize the technical prowess that's going on. I don't know if I could say the same thing here. Like, there's a lot, audio-wise, there's a lot of interesting things that are happening in the mix in this album. And this one in particular here, where once we hit the 1 minute and whatever 20-second mark, it just devolved into let's just bang a bunch of shit around and just randomly speak gibberish in layers in the background. I mean, it is what it is. You're either going to be into the vibe or you're not. But it just, I don't know. They left the garage in shambles. This is what it sounds like when my husband is on the phone and he left his music running. Like, I don't know where I was going with my point there, is that I'm pretty open to most musical experiences. Like, my tastes go anywhere from classical music to avant-garde jazz and noise, to extreme metal, pop, old school country, like more honky-tonks type stuff. Definitely not pop country. I think that's the most pandery bullshit imaginable. To hip-hop and rap, I listen to just about everything. And I don't say that to just say that. I literally, from day to day, listen to about 10 different genres of music. And I've always been that way. So I'm open to things like this. This, to me right now, and we could just let this play out, because I don't think it's going to change. This is just... It's just dicking around. Which is, to me, and I'm going to turn it down because I feel like I'm yelling, which to me is, it's fine. It's background. It's nothing I'm really going to sit and like pay attention to. I'm glad they had a good time and they did this record. What a disappointment, though. Like, there's 2 songs on this record where it starts off so fucking strong and then just devolves into this. One song for almost 6 minutes. At least this song, it was only for 5 minutes. Which I guess is like, is there much of a difference there? Other than a minute? You would skip this? Oh yeah, me too. So they're gonna end the album with somebody playing fucking Jump on the keyboard? Oh, totally worth it. We did it, guys. We got through Savage Imperial Death March by the Melvins and Napalm Death. I was listening to Drop Dead Legs. Drop Dead Legs is such a good fucking song, dude. Such a good song. I went back, and now we're going to go down a Van Halen tangent. I went back a couple months ago because my partner and I were talking about first albums that we had bought or we had when we were kids. And one of the first tapes I ever had, and I remember this very clearly, was 1984, Van Halen's 1984, on cassette, riding around my bike. I originally grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, and I would ride around listening to that entire records on cassette. My little, portable Walkman cassette on my bike around the suburbs. And Drop Dead Legs, man. What a good fucking tune. That groove is so fucking good. So I guess Death Hour at the end, I mean, at least it gave us a laugh at the end. Like, the beginning of that track is so good. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I'm getting rid of the star on Some Kind of Antichrist. Because it's like, man, I don't want to say this. This isn't a record I probably will listen to very much. There are 3 songs that I will definitely be putting on playlists because I really liked them. Tossing Coins into the Fountain of Fuck. What an amazing way to start this record. Like, man, my expectations were through the roof after that track. And then it starts into Some Kind of Antichrist, and that groove, that Kiss groove they got going on at the beginning of that. What a fucking solid groove, and then just have noise for 6 minutes. And then that should have been an indicator that the next 3 songs were essentially that. Even though 9 Days of Rain, I if I remember correctly, was just like a really kind of dissonant groover, and that wasn't too bad. But Rip the God and Stealing Horses brought us back. And then the last 2 tracks were just kind of fucking around. I wonder what that guy who fucked to the Dolphin Noises song would think of this album. Yeah, would he be able to get his thrusts timed to all the noise and like them just kind of vocalizing? Could he get his fuck pattern on? What are we gonna rate this, guys? I want to hear your guys's in the chat. Your guys's rating to Savage Imperial Death March. Like, what did you guys think of this for the most part? Was there anything redeeming about this to you guys? Like, Omar, did you dig this? I know you were kind of looking forward to this one. 4.5? That's fair. That's fair. I hate to go below 6 with this, but I gotta give it a 5. I gotta give it a 5 out of 10. Like, honestly, 3 songs out of the 8 songs I will listen to again. The rest of it, nah, not really. Maybe I'll put it on and spin it in the background. Like, yesterday, I sat and listened to that record a few more times. The one we listened to yesterday, the Night of the Vampire. I sat and jammed that out driving around town. That record is fucking awesome. Really good fucking record. This, I don't know if I would do that to. I would get annoyed by it. I mean, there's some noise albums that I'll give a chance to. Just because there's some songs I like, and then over time, I'll dig the noise elements. But this one in particular, I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of fucking around and a lot of, I hate to use this term, a lot of cock teasing going on with these riffs. Some Kind of Antichrist and Death Hour are such fucking cock teases. They promise such fucking heaviness, and they give it to you for a little bit, and then it's just a bunch of bang, bang, bang. These noises did not spark joy. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go 5 out of 10 on this one. Kind of a disappointment. But the moments it gave us of Barney Greenway singing over Melvin's songs, chef's kiss. Absolute fucking chef's kiss. Absolute mwah, mwah, mwah. Manja. Oh, fuck, I hit my mic. So that's that. There we go.